Hi, I'm Paul Roberts. This is Conscious Counseling 101, and it's just going to be a lesson about comparing the past with the present. So I just got done with my run out there at the beach and made a few videos on that. Now I'm going to go back to the Sarasota Square. Now I'm back here at the mall I spent a lot of my youth at. I'm going to see what's changed. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go into the mall now, and I'm going to take a look around and see what it's like now, 35, 40 years later. So this used to be Sears, and of course there are still some Sears today, but now it's, I don't know what it is, but everything's Chris bought on the internet nowadays. So we're going to the movie theater, and I live in LA now. I was really attracted to the movies and the things that it allowed my mind to think about and fantasize about and fathom, and eventually I ended up over in LA by Hollywood to do a little bit of research and trying to complete my life's journey by at least touching on that. I think I've had about as much as I need. I've really learned a lot about it. But that's where this all started right here, is the movie entrance right here. And I don't know, I think I still have another movie theater all the way across the parking lot now over there. But this is where Eric and I used to come for Twilight movie when we had about 50. So here it is. Alright, so here we are. We're here in the vestibule. This used to be Aladdin's Castle. Of course, everybody does video gaming on their own computers now and on their game stations, things like that. So they don't need video games anymore. And a lot of people go to the high-end movie theaters, stadium seated and things like that. So this is no longer a movie theater. This used to be where we used to go, AMC. Yeah, we'd play a few video games over here beforehand, and then we'd go over here. And that's what we'd do. And then we'd cruise the streets. There really wasn't much else to do. We didn't get into any trouble. We had a friend, and we just did things together. A couple of times I worked at my dad's architectural office, Tishner & Linder in Sarasota. And these tiles you see here are kind of boring. We had some really intricate patterns at one point when this mall was renovated, and I drew all the lines on all the blueprints for all the patterns for the tile during that renovation. Now this renovation here is completely different. I guess this is what they call modern now. That's what they call modern. Well, I'll tell you, it might be modern, but in my day, this place was hustling and bustling. Right now, there's hardly anybody here. It's a different world right now. Everybody buys everything they want on the internet. They don't have to buy it here anyway. I'm gonna walk around, and this used to be Camelot Music right here. And that was back when they had the records. And then we had the Chick-fil-A right over here and Sbarro's. That was nice. There's a lot of skylights in here now, and it's really light and airy. There's nobody hardly here. I guess that's the new modern look. My daughter came to visit Grammy one time. We got a Hugga-Bear. I think it was that one there. It looks like a candy barrel now. Oh man, there's nothing in the middle here. I guess they just keep it open so they can have events and things. Look at that bland tile there. Wow. Alright, so this is the new section, so we won't go down there. That goes down to the food court. And when I came back here during college times, I would go to the food court sometimes. But, that was new. That was an addition. And they continued the tile work, I think, at that time. I think that might have been when we did the mall renovation. I can't remember exactly. And then we go down here. We have JCPenney's. JCPenney's is still in business. H&M. And they build these cheap clothes now. People throw away a lot of clothes to buy cheaper clothes. It was one of the newest and greatest things. And a sweatshop people are working all over there in other countries in order to make sure that continues to happen, unfortunately. But a lot of Americans aren't aware of those things. I hope that the internet's offering these things to people so they can become more aware. There's a really good documentary on either YouTube or Netflix right now that talks about that. So all the entertainment is all at this end of the mall now. Little kids come in here and get little balls and go around and play knocker ball, it's called, I think. There's really nothing more to show. So almost all the mall stores are either closed or just have this new look about them that make them look like they're closed, or maybe they're just, I don't know what they're doing exactly. It looks like the mall's only half in use. Sometimes people don't like to live in a dated world, because it's so, not hip. But the truth is, this place was hopping back at the time, and you definitely would have a lot of fun when you'd come here. And everybody would do that because they weren't in this fragmented world. They were in a world where they could go out and know that all their friends were going to be at a certain place. We're in such a fragmented society in so many ways now. We don't even have message boards anymore. Now we use Facebook and things like that. And you have to link into all the people that you're interested in. And most of them you don't even know, and you don't have really genuine friendships with anyway. Okay, I know people are enjoying it, but I think this fragmentation is really something that's going to cause people to become confused, people to not be centered, people to not be focused, people that think everything that they want to look for is out there somewhere rather than right with them. And that's a danger, because whatever prevailing forces that we can't see or understand or fathom or imagine, we can fathom them and imagine them, but we don't really, maybe can't lock it down. Any unseen hidden forces that are really guiding us, if the people become confused and fragmented and convinced of whatever the pulse beat is, if that pulse beat is guided by these forces at all, and there's a negative human agenda associated with it, we're going to all pay that price. And so one of the reasons why I got into conscious counseling was to help people realize what's really happening in the world around them, so that at least they can start with themselves and be on guard about these things, but they can also help others, not only in their personal life goals and agendas, but just to make sure that they're on solid footing, solid ground, and they're their own person, and they're a person that they can carry through. I'm 53, I think, right now, maybe almost 54. I think my birthday's coming up, and I've done what I'm talking about in every one of these videos. I've carried through. I'm solid. I'm found. I'm me. I'm real. I understand and I've learned from history, my history, ideas flowing forth like a cornucopia from the idea pool. And I'm not soaking them up from every source, but I certainly am not being discouraged by them, because if a person can just understand that the road to heightened conscious or heightened intelligence is to be able to examine all things fairly and accurately, but not feel they have to accept them as a part of themselves or a part of their mentality, they can really grow and gain, and nothing can stand in their way. Of course, there's physical human blockades that can do it, of course. You can have the body be killed or harmed or tortured or whatever, but you can't harm the soul or take the mentality away. Oh yeah, you can have a lobotomy, right? But the spirit knew and touched what it was that it was touching before that happened. The spirit gained it through the mentality that the conscious counseling gave to it. And that's so important, because that can't be taken away. Now, I can't say there's a marker. I can't say that's going to stay there. I can't say it's going to go on to another life. I can't say that. I have faith that it will. But I think it was worth it, because you may not have any harm come to you, and yet you'll have all these gifts developed, and they'll help you all the days of your life. And you may have harm come to you. It may go on to the eternal, the afterlife. I don't know. But the bottom line is, and this is why I really just can't imagine why people won't be into this that I'm talking about here. The bottom line is, you can't get anything but positive growth from it. Nothing. No matter what happens in the future, no matter what happens tomorrow, no matter what happens in the afterlife, the non-physical realm, nothing that you do will ever make you less than the greatest thing you can become through Conscious Counseling 101. And I'd like you to join me physically as a writing down in that space down there what you'd like to hear about, making some comments, talking to me about what we can expand on, common things that we think together, new roads we can take together, things that you're troubled by and would like a solution for, from somebody else that can see things from a wider perspective, those types of things. I'd really like to just ask you to be physically involved now. I'd like to see some commenting. I'd like to see, some talk and dialogue going. Because this is good that I can do this and you can do it back, but it's not the only way. I'd like to get you away from just your little fingers doing all the button pressing and everything and going everywhere like a little bee, like the way the world is, and come back to this type of mall that used to be, where it was solid and it had everything. Well, guess what? You're that mall. You could be like this now, defunct and worthless, or you could realize it could be what it was, or you could make it into something new. But I just know that there's a deadness here that the world at this time is producing in the physical realm. There's a deadness to where there was once life. And the factors that you see that we're talking about are causing that deadness. We need to be aware of them in society, in others, and in our own mentality. When we become more aware of them and we analyze that, we gain heightened consciousness. And what we do with that heightened consciousness is virtually unlimited. Now, I do have some limits on me, as you would see in a few other things. I think I touched on it a little bit in a few of my videos with my own personal relationships that I have in my life, because I've made commitments to people, I've made vows. I have to allow myself to honor those things. And so there are some bounds that I can't really go outside of. And I don't allow myself to. There's limits. We have to have that for honor and decency and life purpose. Because if we only live for ourselves, like some of the mystics and the New Age thinkers and stuff, what we really do is we try to give ourselves a license for delusion, a license to run off and do whatever we want to do. And in a lot of ways, that's what the human spirit wants. That's selfish and self-serving. We don't want to do that. We want to use these tools for proper use, for growth, for help of the world and people around us. Just like martial arts. You don't go and beat people up. You have a solid core of balance in you. You develop your mind and your body, and you have those tools if you need to defend yourself or another worthy person to be defended. That's what we do with Conscious Counseling 101, and I can help you to develop the tools necessary to have those strengths. So, signing off from Sarasota Square Mall. Time to get back in the little VW bus and continue on our journeys across America for now.